From Toronto, the second annual Globl Jam, a U23 international event. And here inside the Mattamy Center on the campus of Toronto Metropolitan University, we are getting set for Germany against the United States, represented by the University of Kentucky Wildcats. This is round-robin action. All these teams will meet again on Saturday. That'll be the semifinal action leading to, of course, the medal round. And one of the names to keep an eye on with Team Germany is their captain and point guard, Janis Medicic. He plays in the first division in the BBL, as do all of the German players except for two that play NCAA basketball. There are two freshmen starting for Kentucky, USA. Justin Edwards, who said Kentucky was his dream school, the reason for that. And as we put a spotlight on DJ Wagner and so much more with Alvin Williams on DJ Wagner, who he has seen play since the age of 12, as we send it over to the third member of our broadcast team, Savannah Hamilton. Savannah?
Thanks, Matt. Yes, I spoke to Adu Thero because they're concerned about playing the Kentucky style of basketball, approaching Globl Jam, especially against Germany. They know about Jonas Matisek as a sharpshooter, but they're really focused on playing a good defensive brand of basketball that they know in the half-court sets as well as presses. So they're really focused on themselves, starting right here with this game, Matt. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks so much, Savannah. Ugana Onyenso, yesterday in a pre-tournament exhibition, he injured his ankle. And I know the Kentucky fans will be really curious about your thoughts of what you saw, because they expected a big jump from his freshman year to sophomore season, and you did see that yesterday in the pre-tournament exhibition, Alvin.
No doubt about it. He was a guy that protected the house. He defended the rim. And he had some violent blocks that made an offensive player second guess even trying to get in the middle. And without his presence there, the Wildcats are really going to suffer from that department, the physicality and the size.
And remember, they're already without Aaron Bradshaw, star-studded freshman class that we mentioned. Freshman, 7 feet, 210, from New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey. Yes. He had foot surgery. And we are underway, and Germany wins the opening tip. He's expected back in October. Onyenso also expected back in October as well. So a different look for Kentucky, right? It's going to be smaller. They have an immense amount of quickness and speed. Johannes Patrick with a jumper that doesn't go. It's going to be Kentucky basketball.
And to your point, Matt, missing those two 7-footers is going to hurt. But when they come back, this Kentucky Wildcats team is going to be very versatile, and it's going to be hard to game plan for them. And they can be an elite defensive team, pressuring out top and then having the big men to defend that paint.
8 newcomers overall for the University of Kentucky. Trying to go behind the back, and a turnover, and Patrick lays it up and threw the first bucket of the afternoon. A season ago, Kentucky 22-12. They lost to the Vanderbilt Commodores, and Jerry Stackhouse, former head coach of the 905 for the Toronto Raptors. In the quarters, they lost 80-73. They did, of course, make it to the NCAA tournament, where they lost in the second round to Kansas State. And Marquise Noel, who is signed with the Toronto Raptors, lost 75-69. But once again, for Coach Cal, he understands new players coming in, young players, and for the 16th consecutive year, the only coach to have this, he has had multiple players drafted in the NBA.
And you got to take your hat off to Coach Cal and preparing players to go to the NBA, and not just go, be successful. He has some star-studded players that's playing currently in the NBA, top-tier players, and they come from the Kentucky Wildcats program.
Brunke picks up the foul. That's going to be his first. Antonio Reeves at the foul line. And a turnover through the fingertips. In the corner, three-pointer doesn't go for Edwards. And Germany pushing it. And the pass is stolen by Justin Edwards. And he'll bring it across the timeline. The spin move in traffic. And it is off of USA. It'll be Germany basketball. You'd expect this at summer basketball, right? It's a little bit like a summer run with a little bit more defensive intensity, right? It takes a little bit of time.
No doubt about it. And you see the youth of Kentucky. And it's going to come down to Germany's physicality and size, and Kentucky athleticism and speed, which you see them causing turnovers off the break.
Wagner in the paint with the floater, tough angle, drifting left, coming back right.
And I'll tell you this, and I'm not going to keep going back to his childhood and to his father, but
go ahead.
If you know Wagner, DeJuan Wagner, that 2-foot, one-hand floater, that's in the family, and he's making that since I've seen him, and his father was elite at making that floating shot.
Medicic with the three-pointer doesn't go. Fierro with a rebound and a collision underneath. Mitchell involved. And a foul's going to be charged to Tre Mitchell. And transfer from West Virginia.
See, Germany having problems against the Kentucky press, using that speed. Errant passes, and Kentucky will use that as an advantage to get on that offensive side.
You're a little bit familiar with the Kentucky press. Sorry, I had to bring it up early.
Anybody got some Benadryl? I'm breaking out. I'm breaking out in high.
Little Nova Kentucky action. Tischler shot doesn't go. Fierro on the move. Contact and the ability to finish.
Right through the contact. And that's what I do love about the mixture. You have older players. And Fierro, right here, as you see, going right through. Not stopping, has his eyes on the prize, and finishing, getting the opportunity for an and one.
Brunka with the foul. Montadillo makes his way to the table. He has been sidelined due to injury leading up to today. One of their better players. USA with a lead 5-2. A season ago, USA was represented by Baylor University. They went winless through the round robin, then won in the semifinal action, which propelled them to the final game against Brazil, and Brazil won it all.
Gotta love round robin. You never have.
With 4 teams.
You gotta love it.
Patrick, it's a great event. And as we head to this evening, this gym on the campus at Toronto Metropolitan University will be jam-packed. On the inside, Tischler with a move. Shot doesn't go. And Agbakoko with a putback. And despite the lack of size for Kentucky, doing a good job, right, of eliminating Germany to one and done.
And you know something? They're competing. They're showing bodies. They're hitting first right here, right at the rim. I meet you there, and I'm fighting to get the rebound, and still fighting. And then a smaller player comes right in there, Reeves, older player, but he's smaller, gets the rebound, helping the bigger guys out on that defensive glass.
D'Lo checks in for Brunka, who has 2 fouls. Nice cut, Wagner on the feed from Tre Mitchell. Nice for John Calipari to have Tre Mitchell and Antonio Reeves, both 22 years of age. Mix that in with the younger players.
And you talk about that on every level, right? NBA level, college level. You love high school when you have older players, returning players. As you see, Germany knocks down a 3 right off the dribble. But going back, having that mixture where you can help the younger players through this process.
Patrick with the three-pointer. Reeves. Shot doesn't go. And a rebound for Tischler. Johannes Patrick, his father, John Patrick, played for Morgan Wooten at DeMatha.
A tree can be unifying, inviting diverse communities to gather.
Wildcats. Here's Patrick deep in the corner. Closeout by Mitchell. 6 minutes left here in the first quarter. And a pass on the inside. And Agbakoko is fouled. And we have a timeout on the floor with the USA up 8-5. USA leads 8-5 for Kentucky. DJ Wagner, a player that you have watched play since the age of 12.
Yeah, watched him for a while. First time I saw him, he was 12, and he was in the gym playing against Jalen Brunson, and his father pointed him out to me, DeJuan Wagner, and he was a great football player from my understanding as a youngster, and he transitioned into basketball where he put all his marbles in, and that's what he's become. He's become MVPs, ran through the high school circuit, and just an intelligent player, but more importantly, even from his father, great people, like great, quiet, humble, and just put their head down, and they love the game of basketball. So it's a joy to watch him and see him still keep progressing.
Rick Brunson, who's now an assistant coach with the New York Knicks. And of course, his son Jalen Brunson with a sensational year for New York. Coached him for 3 years, coached DJ for 3 years in Camden.
He sure did. And when you look at his awareness, when you look at his maturity, it's from everything. We talk about his family, but Rick Brunson, he was running those practices like college practices, a lot of discipline, a lot of accountability. And then when Rick left, he got the opportunity to play under Malik Waynes, who's another great NBA player, well, played in the NBA, played at Villanova from Philadelphia, top high school All-American, McDonald's All-American. So he has a lot of great teaching before he got to Coach Cal.
Of course, you had to bring up Villanova.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's easy. It's all over the place. But you brought it up first, mentioning when we lost to the Wildcats.
Well, we have plenty of time to get into that. The foul was on Edwards and Ogbokoko from the free throw line. Under 6 minutes left here as we see Rob Dillingham. And he sends it over to Tre Mitchell. Wagner to Mitchell, and a turnover. So Rob Dillingham, a part of that freshman class, played for overtime elite as a senior, averaged close to 15 points, nearly 5 assists. Part of the FIBA Americas 2021 team, U16 championship MVP, in fact, Dillingham from Hickory, North Carolina. And the cut and the basket. And they're going to call a
legal screen.
Yeah, a screen. So wipe away that basket by Lukosius.
Opened it up right here. See a cutting player, but the screen, which I'm not sure if I'm going to ride with that one, but it definitely opened up a lane to get to the basketball easy layup as the Kentucky Wildcats came out in the half-court zone.
Simonas Lukosius, who played for Butler, he's transferring to the University of Cincinnati. Speaking of Villanova, he had a career-high 28 against Villanova. And an offensive rebound and a putback for Therio, and it's out of bounds off of Germany. It's going to be Kentucky basketball with 5:08 remaining. 8-7 here early on. Neither team, as you would expect, right? Shooting it all that sharp.
Not yet. Still catching a feel. Like you mentioned, it's early. It's a high speed. And I love a dude, Therio, because he goes to the offensive glass. He's very intense and he uses his size.
Dillingham, shot doesn't go. Ogbokoko comes away with the rebound. Here's Patrick. Sends it ahead to Lukosius. Back over to Patrick. Johannes Patrick, as I mentioned, father played at Stanford for Mike Montgomery and had a career in Europe. He's a coaching legend in Germany. Nice move. Shot doesn't go. Batted around. Zamar unable to finish underneath. And Germany with 5 turnovers here early on. Wagner up top, backs up now. Off the bounce with the left. He's got that.
And that's the speed. Quick first step off the bounce, and that's hard sometimes to change his speeds and get that burst, but he does that, and he's going to his weaker hand, the left one.
DJ Wagner with a blow by. Good job by Therio. And that's going to lead to the 3-point attempt by Zamar, but the shot doesn't go. Cut him off on the inside. He popped out to the corner. Edwards, skip pass. Here's a 3, and it's good for Tre Mitchell.
And Mitchell will do that. Step out, space the floor. You have an older player, once again, a transfer coming from West Virginia. But he can step out and make that 3 ball.
Patrick and another turnover, the 6th turnover. Patrick with a couple of turnovers, and USA leads 13-7. Here it is.
And you see Wagner going to the rack from Camden to Canada, going to the buckets.
You like anything that you've noticed here early on as we take a look at Reed Shepard entering the action, another outstanding piece of that freshman class.
Kentucky running around, creating havoc for this German team and causing turnovers, using their speed. As we talked about, the physicality that Germany can present for this Kentucky team, they're negating it with their speed, pressing and making the German team rush a bit and causing turnovers.
Medicic putting pressure on the inbounds. Here's Dillingham with it. Reed Shepard, watching him at practice, he can flat out shoot the lights out.
He can shoot the ball.
Here's Reeves on the attack, denied by Agbakoko. Dillingham now driving, runner doesn't go. Offensive rebound on the inside for Jordan Burks. The freshman, here's Reeves with the finish.
Reeves not scared at all. Got his first shot block initially. Got a second opportunity, went right back down the lane and finished nicely with the right.
7-0 run by USA. Reed Shepard, his father as well as his mother, played basketball at the University of Kentucky. You played against his father, Jeff Shepard, as that is a whistle and a foul on Fierro.
And his father was a heck of a player. Got a chance to, I can't remember, I'm so old. I don't know if we were on the same team at the Nike All-American camp or we competed against each other, but I do remember playing against him at Kentucky. And I won't forget that. I ain't that old.
Corner, D'Lo with the three.
But his father, back to his father, I'm sorry. Very athletic, very good shooter, a tough guy, and could do it all from that guard position. Reminded me a lot of a former Wildcat and Rich Chapman.
Reeves, and a travel and a turnover. 6-point lead for the USA with 2:34 remaining here in this first quarter. The third turnover by Kentucky. D'Lo didn't practice, wasn't a part of the exhibition game, pre-tournament exhibition game yesterday for Germany. One of the better players, and speaking to their head coach, Gordy Herbert. Medicic up top. Good job by Dillingham fighting over the screen and staying close, and the help from Burks. Zamar, and a whistle and a foul. Two-shot foul.
And Kentucky's doing a heck of a job competing against the ball handler. You see the Germany guards, they can't really break it down as much. And I'm thinking that they would love to pass and move and cut. But the Kentucky Wildcats defense, they're being physical, they're up in the ball handler, and that's one thing that's preventing the German team to get their offense going quickly.
The Keg, proud partner of Canada Basketball and Globl Jam.
Three officials: Cooper Toppings, Jason Steele, and Eric Otiera from Kenya. Cooper Toppings and Jason Steele from Canada. Toppings from Calgary and Steele from Montreal. 4-point game. Here's Dillingham, sees a seam. He'll find Shepard in the corner. Three doesn't go. And that's what he can do. Reed Shepard, McDonald's All-American, Mr. Kentucky basketball. In 2023, finished his high school career scoring 3,727 points. And a 5-second count and a turnover. It's a great opportunity for Coach Cal and his Kentucky Wildcats to come up here. This does not count towards an international trip for Kentucky. Last summer, they went to the Bahamas and played in your favorite spot, Baha Mar. And it's tied up, Shepard and Burks.
We'll keep that on the low, man. Keep that on the low.
15-11, USA up by 4. But this didn't count for Baylor. Part of the reason why is because you're also representing the United States. So tremendous opportunity for teams to come here to Toronto, tremendous city. And of course, Kentucky has had some outstanding players from the great country of Canada, including Jamal Murray and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And Jamal McGlure. There's Burks in the paint. Doesn't go too strong. Agba Koko comes away with it. Obiesa, Joshua Obiesa finds D'Lo, and the three is good. D'Lo, again, all of these players play in the top division professionally in Germany. This is a U23 tournament, except for two that play NCAA. And Germany has responded to the run of Kentucky. 7-0 run, shot short for Justin Edwards. Here's D'Lo, sends it over to Medicic. Back over to D'Lo. High-low feed. Agba Koko on the inside, and a good job of sealing in finishing.
And before even sealing, running the floor, getting that position, and that's where the German team can hurt this Kentucky team, using their size, getting the ball into them, just running straight down the lane. Had an opportunity here, swung it up top, right over top of the defense for the and one bucket. And if you're the German team, that's what you want to identify, at least every possession coming down, and Kentucky's going to have to figure it out. How do you defend that?
The second lead for Germany is a lead 17-15.
DJ Wagner coming back in the game, and it's interesting to see he and Dillingham play together. Both guards, both quick guards, both guards like to score. But talking to Bruiser Flint, the thing he was most impressed with yesterday's scrimmage, how the team passed the ball to one another. They used each other, and it wasn't much isolation basketball.
Edwards with a three-pointer that doesn't go. We've talked a lot about that, even practicing for the 2 weeks leading up to leaving for Toronto. Their unselfishness and the ability to share, and everyone buying into that, which is so important for team successes. Dillingham knocks down the jumper.
And for instance, you see a play in transition. Dillingham has a one-on-one opportunity. He makes that shot. But how, as the point guard, how does that affect the rest of the team without passing the ball, getting a rhythm, especially early in the season? You want to get that rhythm from your team.
Three-pointer doesn't go. And the Dillingham jumper ends a 9-0 run, and we're tied at 17 through the opening quarter here of day one of round-robin action. Globl Jam 2023. DJ Wagner and the Kentucky Wildcats representing the United States as we head to the second quarter.
Kentucky can stay in the game and get their leads is through creating turnovers or speeding up this German team.
D'Lo's shot doesn't go. Fierro, and a good job by Edwards saving it. Here's Wagner quickly across the timeline. Picked up in transition around a crowd. Nice kick out by Edwards. And Fierro dumps it off to Tre Mitchell. Mitchell on the inside, and a turnover, the fifth by Kentucky. Obiesa with it. Joshua Obiesa drives end line. Medicic. Close out. D'Lo three, and it's good. And Medicic's going to draw a crowd, but D'Lo, really one of their best players that Kentucky hasn't had an opportunity to see because he wasn't even practicing with Germany.
And he looks so solid. Everything he's doing, his decision making. As you mentioned, a good extra pass to a better passer and a better shooter.
Yes, sends it now. Medicic three, and the threes are starting to heat up for Germany. And it's a 6-point lead, their largest advantage.
But you look at it, Matt, there's no communication by the Wildcats. They're not talking. If you look at it and you don't know why, just watch them flying out, jumping at the shooters, going for pump fakes, two people guarding the ball at once. That tells you there's not a lot of communication saying, I got ball, identifying what you're supposed to do as defense. Penetration right here. Go fly at it. Stay on your feet. Two people guarding one, another flyby. That you see that defense against this German team who's settled, who's more mature, and they got shooters. They can affect you all of the time. It has to start on the defensive end, communicating, talking on D.
Overall, an older German team, albeit U23, with 8:34 on the clock. And a whistle and a foul. There's Gordy Herbert, who is also the head coach for the senior men's national program for Germany. And well known here in Canada from Penticton, British Columbia. His son Daniel Herbert, an assistant coach for Team Germany as well. He had a great career in Europe as a player in Finland and has coached for years in Europe. And one time Toronto Raptors assistant as well. Dillingham, the bank shot. And so Dillingham with a bucket in a 4-point game.
And you see, once again, Kentucky's success comes off of a turnover.
Manisic kicks it over to Nicholas Tischler. The team with his brother, Brandon Tischler. And a foul on Rob Dillingham. Dillingham picks up the foul. That's going to be his first. And he'll check out. Reeves, Edwards, Mitchell, Fierro, and DJ Wagner on the court for USA. Screen set by Bent Leukten, who plays at UC Irvine. The Anteaters sets another screen. Obiesa with a three, and it's the three for Germany here in the second quarter as they've knocked down 3 threes.
And ball reversal after ball reversal. You see the ball changing sides off the dribble, then off of a pass, making the Kentucky Wildcats to shift and rotate and having one-on-one opportunities for the German team on the wings.
Here's Wagner. 3 ball doesn't go. Kentucky's made 1 3. Reeves is their top returning 3-point shooter. Better than 40%. And a travel. Manisic doesn't like it. And another turnover for Germany.
Manisic keeping his dribble alive, snake dribbling, finding a mismatch with DJ Wagner guarding the big from Germany. Getting court, shuffling the puppies a little bit.
If you're just joining us, Kentucky representing the United States, they are without their big Ogana Onyenso, who was injured in a pre-tournament exhibition yesterday, an ankle injury. More than likely will not be back until October, and of course he joins as that 3 ball doesn't go. He joins Aaron Bradshaw, who didn't make the trip, had foot surgery, and he'll return sometime around October. Kentucky 1 of 8 from 3-point range and a turnover. Here's DJ Wagner on the move. It is Edwards. They do a great job of slithering through the paint as Justin Edwards uses his length and speed to get to the iron.
And Justin Edwards saw the C part, just getting right down the lane, finishing with his right hand, coming from the lefty.
Close out by Wagner on Manisic. Obiesa kicks it over to Tischler. Shot is denied by Justin Edwards. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania product. And an offensive foul called on DJ Wagner. So Wagner picks up his first, and Coach Cal, you see the response. These are FIBA rules that they're playing with.
Manisic getting back, change direction, squared up. Great defense. DJ trying to get to the basket, but getting right in front, competing.
Timeout on the floor.
3 balls. Already 3 in the second quarter, but just moving the basketball, swinging the basketball. But you say they're shooting the ball well, but I'm going to criticize and be very critical of the Kentucky Wildcats defense and their players. You have to be more defensive minded. And once again, a young team, you have to realize you have to start communicating, you have to talk, and you have to be disciplined and knowing the game plan, knowing the personnel, and that will come. I know a Coach Cal team coach, these great players, young players, they'll get it. But right now, this is a great learning experience where you can continue to get better on the defensive end.
Showing pressure as we send it over to Savannah Hamilton. Savannah?
Well, Alvin just talked about knowing the game plan. It's something that Team Germany has prided themselves in because they actually got together only a few days ago, but a lot of the guys have played on youth national teams with each other in the past, so they have that natural built-in chemistry. But most importantly, they're using Globl Jam as a tryout for Coach Gordy because he also coaches the German national team. Back to you. LSU.
The senior men's national team, Gordy Herbert, as we mentioned, he coached in Germany, coached in Finland, coached throughout Europe for many years. As I mentioned, a one-time assistant coach for a year with the Toronto Raptors. He was originally from Penticton, British Columbia, played for the Canadian national team. Jay Triano, Leo Routens, and at the University of Idaho was outstanding, went to junior college and then went to Idaho, went to the NCAA tournament there, and then had a tremendous career in Europe and has stayed there coaching and raising his family. One of his sons, Daniel, an assistant coach with the German national team as well. Reeves at the line, a successful trip.
And coached our man Sherman Hamilton.
Yes, Sherm knows him well. He's going to break it down at halftime. Being coached by Gordy Herbert.
I need to tell Sherm big time and hanging out with Kyle Lowry and not getting back to me. I'm emailing him, I'm calling him, and this guy just rude.
They don't know if you play golf. That's why.
Yeah. I'm a friend, so I thought.
That's the most important thing. So you thought. Baghetti misses the three-point attempt. It doesn't go.
And we talk about the discipline of a team. But when you have a style that's going to be disruptive, running around, pressing, just causing havoc, sometimes that will affect you when you're not getting those turnovers early on the half-court defensive side.
Mitchell backing in, and a nice move. Comes up short with a jumper, and a whistle and a foul, and it's going to go against Kentucky. The foul is on Jordan Burks, the freshman from Decatur, Alabama. Also played for Overtime Elite. And that's going to be the second. The league scoring better than 27 points.
Filling it up a bit.
Pressure. Reed Shepherd, tremendous job, and a slam dunk by DJ Wagner.
And once again, the pressure. You got a two-man front. Germany called the timeout quick. They're not going to get down in that hole again as they started the game.
Timing on the floor. Germany, their lead trimmed to 1 here in the second quarter with 4:38 left to go in the first half. Wagner, 4 of 6 with 8 points for the freshman.
Getting to the basket, finishing that last play with a two-hand slam dunk off of the steal. Nice attempt, nice deflection by Reed. Guarding the ball. Reed Shepherd gets a hand on the ball, finds him right over top, court awareness. And that two-man front, they can create that havoc. Speedy guards, athletic guards, and then you have a back line that can get any type of lob pass like a free safety. So the Kentucky full-court press have been very effective. It's when they got to the half court and Germany can settle down, move the ball reversals where they struggle.
It's going to be interesting to see because they're without their two bigs. Onyenso, as we mentioned, as well as Bradshaw. You bring them back into the mix, and this is a Kentucky team that's going to have the ability to play big and or small. And so they can adapt to what they're seeing and ultimately what style of play they want to force on their opponent when they get into their NCAA schedule.
I believe when those two big guys come back, it's PROBLEMS, problems, because you have your guards and your problems, right? Because you mentioned it. There's so many different ways you can play. You got speedy guards. You get up in them. Make sure they have the confidence they can get up in the guards. When you have bigs back there that can defend, block shots, and most importantly, rebound the basketball and then get out, Kentucky can play a heck of a style of play.
I think the one thing, the development of the shooting, right? Reeves, best shooter from a season ago. Reed Shepherd as well. Put on your cowboy hats and saddle up. Calgary Stampede continues with the rodeo portion of the competition. Catch all the high-flying action this afternoon at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific on Sportsnet 1. And don't miss a moment by streaming the event on Sportsnet Now. You got to get out to Calgary, go to the rodeo. Stampede I haven't been in a long time.
FaceTime you.
Like a long time.
You can FaceTime me.
Oh, really? That's it? You're not in?
Yeah.
Well, you might.
Not doing the rodeos.
Yeah.
Not doing the rodeos.
You do wear your boots, though.
I just had my cowboy boots on about 3 weeks ago.
D'Lo nearly had to take it away, and now a travel and a great job once again defensively by the Kentucky Wildcats and Reed Shepherd.
Again, and what I love is we mentioned, yes, he's a shooter, but guess what? You might shoot an air ball. You might not make a shot. You're a freshman. You may not get the shots that you want, but you're impacting the game in different ways, and we've seen what he's done on the defensive end.
13 turnovers now for Germany. DJ Wagner over to Reeves. Reeves launches a three. Good. He needed that as USA regains the lead. Second made 3 for Kentucky. It's a 9-0 run.
And Reeves I'm sorry, Matt. And Reeves is someone that can make the three, as you mentioned. 83 pointers a year ago, and he can score the basketball. Saw that he had a 37-point game against Arkansas.
It's a 2 foot on the line for Elias Spaghetti.
And you see again, once Germany can get the ball over the floor and they can settle in half court, they look very, very comfortable.
Reeves was the SEC Sixth Man of the Year as he knocks down that jumper, and 5 straight for Antonio Reeves.
And if I'm the coaching staff of Kentucky, I'm empowering Reeves to be that leader of the team for these young players.
Brunke misses, and last touch by Germany. It's going to be Kentucky basketball.
And you see Reeves, nice step back after hitting the 3 ball. And I mentioned to you, having someone that's a returning player that knows the system, knows the city, knows all of those things, empower him and say, lead these young guys and have them follow.
Team USA. Now, I caught up with Antonio Reeves about his game, and he said that he entered the NBA draft but pulled his name out ultimately because of his defense. He knows how to get his shot. He knows the step back move that he likes. He also likes to find his teammates off of pick and roll situations, but it was actually Coach Cal that actually challenged him to be a better player, both on the rebounding side of things as well as defensively. So look for that. Matt?
Second on the team a season ago, averaging 14.4 points a game, shot 39.8% from 3. Spent 3 years at Illinois State in Normal, Illinois. From Chicago, went to Simeon High School.
Derrick Rose go there?
A lot of players.
Savannah talk about the step back. She knows a lot, playing that forward center type of position. Guards have to get that separation, so that step back dribble into a shot is huge.
Shot short for Wagner. Loose ball on the floor. Agbakoko comes away with it. Medicic quickly over to D'Lo. And Brunke finds Agbakoko again and back up top to Medicic.
And just how watch settled the German team is in this half-court set.
Brunke unable to get elevation. Shepherd over to Tre Mitchell. Reeves with distance, and that's what Kentucky's looking for as he knocks it down, having a big second quarter.
And I like how Kentucky's looking for him, finding him, and he's not hesitating, getting the ball whether it's on a standstill or off the bounce.
14-2 run. Shot doesn't go. Reeves quickly. Fierro attacking, takes it right to Agbakoko, and then finishes over top.
And that's what we talked about. This is the second time we've seen the arrow go through the defender and finish on that left end. But I love how Kentucky's getting the ball up quickly, and that's where they can excel.
His father played for Coach Calipari as well at Memphis.
Can't leave him open.
No, he can shoot the 3. Knocks down another and ends the run. 4-point lead for USA.
What you like what this young Wildcat team is doing. They bounced back, had some tough times, got back in the game. As you see a foul, being physical, trying to get over the screen, but the young fighters, they're playing. Led by the OG, Reeves, making shots and leading the charge.
That's his first personal foul before the team foul.
Medicic with the foul. Obiesic will check in along with Zamar. Next opportunity, clock down. Explosive move to the hole, and the shot doesn't go for Wagner. Three-point attempt, good. It's been the three for Germany. Lukacius with the three-pointer. Reeves up at the rim, batted around. A minute to go in the first half. Medicic, three, good. And Germany back on top by one. An 8-0 run.
It's going back and forth, Matty. Making shots, making plays. And that's what both teams are looking to do. Pulling up a fast break. Medicic has the medicine. Pull up three with that left hand. Germany up one.
Following the team here, and of course they have passionate fan base and a tremendous history of basketball.
And I hope the players, they appreciate that support. You know, being a former player, that's the one thing you love, being a four-year player as well. You love the loyalty and the passion from your fan base, and then how they stay committed.
The bucket, the arrow, lays it up and through.
And this Kentucky Wildcat team, they have a lot of pieces and a lot of elements. As you mentioned, they can be versatile. They can be a strong team. They can be a bigger team. They have a quick lineup. Just have to continue to learn, especially the younger players.
Obiesic finds Lukacius, and a three, and a foul. 37-36, Kentucky by one.
Mentioning learning, you see Shepard guarding a bigger player with the clock running down. That's when you have to have that shot clock in your head, or internal shot clock, time clock, and crowd. Don't allow him to stand there and shoot, because that's a comfortable shot for a great shooter.
16 seconds remain here in the first half. And the free throw from Mitchell is good.
Tre Mitchell at the line for Kentucky.
38-36. 2-point lead for Kentucky. And Tre Mitchell, who started his career 2 years at the University of Massachusetts and then transferred to Texas, to West Virginia, and the Pittsburgh native, now playing for Kentucky. 3-point lead, and the shot denied. Lead pass, and the shot at the end of the buzzer doesn't go. And what a job by Fierro underneath the basket.
And his energy level, his intensity, defensively, offensively, grabbing offensive board, but right there
On the campus of Toronto Metropolitan University, USA leads by 3 as we send it over to Savannah Hamilton. Savannah?
Thanks, Matt. This player profile up next is brought to you by the Keg, proud partner of Canada Basketball and Globl Jam. Now, I did catch up with Antonio Reeves to dive a little bit deeper into his story, because he did play 3 seasons at Illinois State before transferring last season to Kentucky. He told me that the competition in the SEC is just stronger. The players are a lot faster, and that aligns with his goal of course, playing in the NBA, as I mentioned before, that he did enter the draft, but then later pulled it out to focus more on defense. But as Alvin knows, Matt, SEC competition is really tough.
Antonio Reeves leading the way, 13 points. 2 of 5 from three-point range. And Coach Cal mentioned that he wants to see more threes. Told Savannah that heading into halftime. Also faster, right? Play a little bit more random.
And that's just exactly what they're doing now. Passing, reversing, and sometimes that leads to that turnover. But it comes with being in rhythm, right? You know your players, you know your teammates. And that random style of play It'll be much easier and much more effective the more they play with each other.
D'Lo will start the second half. He led the way for Germany with 11 points. Brunke on the inside doesn't go. Bakoko, offensive foul. The arrow hit the deck. USA by 3 here, 39-36.
And the arrow's not scared to put his nose right in the mix. You see him, he's battling. He's undersized, and he just goes right there, gets his shoulder in the chest, takes the hit. Not only does he get a turnover, he gets a foul on a bigger guy for the German team, which would be ultimately in favor for the Kentucky Wildcats if they continue them being smaller.
DJ Wagner kicks it. Mitchell. And that three is good. It's their fourth made three. And it's 42-36.
And that's two luxuries. You have a guard and DJ who can turn the corner and make a defense react. And then you have a big and Mitchell who can make that shot as a stretch forward.
DJ Wagner over now. Reeves with a runner.
Just look at the speed. DJ kicking it up down the sideline. Reeves attacking from the wing, beating the German team down the floor.
Reeves with 15. Here's Patrick, drive, kick. Medicic. And Medicic with the three, but a great job by TJ Wagner in that rotation to try to get to the corner.
And that's huge. He has two responsibilities, being on the weak side, and he made sure he got to the ball, but just a great shooter in Matisse that can make that shot.
Edwards now over to Wagner. Wagner with the clock down to 5. And a travel and a turnover.
You gotta help me. You gotta help me out, man. I'm calling my man Matisse.
That's all right.
His name is Madisette. I said he had the medicine. He got the medicine again. I need some medicine. I'm trying to pronounce some of these names, man. I tell you, coming from Philadelphia, I get Jacksons, Browns, Greens. That helped me out a lot.
Medicic with a three that doesn't go. The arrow with a rebound. The arrow in the paint, cut off by Brunke. Here's Wagner, stutter step on the drive with a left in traffic. Shot doesn't go. And a rebound on the inside for Leukten. Here's Patrick up top. First half, Kentucky was plus 16 in points in the paint and another 3 for Germany. They made 7 in the first half. They made a pair here in the third. It's a 2-point game.
A tale of two styles. Kentucky winning it in the rim, getting in the paint. As you see, Reeves gets fouled off the curl. And the German team making the outside shot. So how do you combat that if you're Kentucky? You got to get up on them. Right behind, can't go behind the screen. Kentucky typically goes over the screen and stay connected to the ball handler. That time, Germany took advantage of it.
Germany 9 of 19 from 3. There's another 3 from Tre Mitchell, his second of the third quarter. Here's D'Lo, knocks it down. Now 10 for 20 from 3. And it's 47-45.
And DJ again turning that corner, finding Mitchell on a kickback. And when you have a big that can stretch the floor and can trail, that puts a lot of pressure on your defense. But Germany did not stop. They got the ball up quickly and knocked down a 3 of their own.
Here's Wagner quickly into the front court over to Mitchell. Mitchell sets a screen. Wagner. And that 3 doesn't go. Edwards unable to grab the rebound. And the 3. A great job by Mitchell with the rebound on the kick out. And the 3 is good. And that's what Cal wanted, and that's what they're getting.
That's what they're getting. And that was from deep. That was deep waters. Reeves knocking it out.
He's been their top scorer. Medicic cut off. D'Lo up fake, close out Edwards. Here's Patrick for 3. Doesn't go. Bakoko taps it out. And controlled by Justin Edwards. Edwards, 3, doesn't go. And a great job, the arrow. And he's going to be fouled. Brunke brought it down. The arrow went in and took it away. is going to lead to free throws. And we have a timeout on the floor. USA by 5.
We love our house. The outdoor space is great, but we do have invasive weeds.
I think we got in the house.
I think you're right.
This particular rose bush.
Stay away from my family! Why are you so strong? At least Geico makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. We save so much.
You want me to get the spray stuff?
Get the spray stuff. Ranger!
He's up here!
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
After Advil.
Feeling better?
On top of the world!
Before Advil. Advil targets pain at the source of inflammation. When pain comes for you, come back fast with Advil liquid gels.
Everything looks so good.
Right? I'm hearing the new Google Pixel is really great. And it comes with AT&T's best deals on all of them.
This one looks nice.
That's a house favorite. And it's served with your choice of plans. Thank you.
There's got to be a catch.
No catch. And no trade-in required either.
Ooh.
Oh.
How do you know all this?
I come here a lot. Love the service.
At AT&T, new and existing customers can choose any Google Pixel with your choice of plans and always get our best deal.
Grady Dick and the Toronto Raptors continue their NBA Summer League slate with a showdown against the Brooklyn Nets. Gets a tip-off from Vegas tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Sportsnet 360. And stream every moment live on Sportsnet now. Marquise Noel, who was a part of that great Kansas State run in the NCAA tournament, has had a great Summer League for the Toronto Raptors. Of course, Kentucky fans familiar with the other Wildcats, Kansas State. They met them in the second round of the NCAA tournament, but this is a team getting valuable experience here in Toronto. As I mentioned before, this does not count towards an international trip. Last summer they were in the Bahamas, or Kentucky's representing USA as part of the National Association of Basketball Coaches. The executive director, Craig Robinson, is here, and so a great honor for the NCAA schools that are here on the women's side. Louisville, season ago, it was Baylor for the men, and for the women's, VCU. And the American flag on the Kentucky jersey as Fierro makes the first free throw. Both teams have shot it well from the free throw line. 7 of 8 now for Kentucky, and 5 of 5 for Germany. And it gives them an opportunity to assess where they are and then move forward for the rest of the summer. And then let's not forget, the transfer portal does not close until the end of August. So there's still going to be movement for NCAA. I'm not saying Kentucky, but there's still going to be movement around the NCAA. Here's Brunka for 3. Doesn't go. Crashing the glass, and a good job by Edwards being active on the offensive glass and running the floor. Here's a three-pointer, and it's good. I tell you what, Tre Mitchell showing out here. Had a season-high 22 last season against Oklahoma State. Knocks down another 3.
And he does a nice job of just spacing the floor, bringing maturity and the calmness to the team. And before that play, I was going to mention how he did a nice job of boxing out on a defensive glass.
Fierro played in 20 games last season. He's only a sophomore, but yet you can feel that veteran presence as Dillingham connects.
And that's what he likes to do. I was watching him, and we were watching him in a scrimmage, and he was just going to work. And, well, not the scrimmage, actually the team's practice and half-court set, having the opportunity to score off the bounce. Nice shifty handle and a nice mid-range game. Dillingham's going to continue to improve.
9-0 run. Patrick looking for Agbakoko, and it's going to be last touch by Tre Mitchell. It's going to be Germany basketball.
And you talk about random. Let's do a little random between the legs 2 or 3 times. You know, I know Coach Cal wants the ball to move, random cuts and things like that without calling a set. When you have a talent like that in Dillingham who can break a player down and pull up in mid-range, that's something you'll take gracefully.
A whistle and a foul. Foul's going to be charged to Justin Edwards, and that's going to be his second. Remember last year, Baylor had Keontae George, right? So it wasn't as if they showed up and they went winless through the round robin, and then once they advanced to the semifinal rounds, they were able to win, and they finished second. USA had silver, Brazil gold, Canada with a bronze. D'Lo has 16 points for Germany. Patrick turns the corner. Agbakoko, and a tough pass. Pass that time for the big to handle.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Little steam on it, and just a tough pass to handle. But it's a great thought of turning that corner, bouncing it, leading to a basket. But instead, it was a turnover. Looking at Kentucky team, Dillingham has to run the offense. You have the opportunities, but this team has a great opportunity to put people in place. As you see Reeves pull up again, and he's just feeling very comfortable. And now I will urge that, and I will insist that he's the leader of this team. He's someone who knows the system. He knows the lay of the land, and he's been here.
D'Lo, and that three doesn't go. Dillingham with the rebound. I think as you would expect, right? You have the two 22-year-olds, Mitchell as well as Reeves, that are really, you can tell, taking over that leadership role with the Wildcats here on this Wednesday afternoon.
And the young guys just have to follow. This Wildcats team, they have great pieces. Everyone buys into a role, follow the leadership, and continue to grow. Sky's the limit for this Wildcats team.
USA up 11.
Sometimes one thing leads to another thing. Then all of a sudden, it's on. With Roman, you can take care of erectile dysfunction discreetly. So whenever the moment happens, you're ready. Roman ready.
The perfect platform bed frame. Timeless design and modern functionality. Comes together in minutes. The bed by Thuma.
When you're a leader, the competition is always hoping that you're going to slip up. So, these suits are here to make sure that anything that I say is legally indisputable. Like, Apartments.com has the widest variety of variety. Apartments.com was the reason that apartments were invented. Heck, we got more spaces than space.
That's entirely incalculable.
Incalculable? Oh, I think that's legalese for true. Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
The moment of sweat fueled by Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, and refuel.
And Reeves catch and shoot, 2 feet planted, standing. Then he said, you know what, I'm not going to shoot that one. I'm going to just drive. And DJ Wagner finding Mitchell. And Mitchell's feeling it, feeling good, nice rhythm. And Coach Cal, you asked for it, you received it. More 3-pointers attempted, more 3-pointers made. But it's just from the ball movement, getting up quickly, and confidence.
Antonio Reeves leading the way with 20. Tre Mitchell with 14. DJ Wagner had 8 in the first half. Mitchell and Antonio Reeves are a combined 7 for 12 from three-point range.
And guess what? That's your recipe.
Right.
You find your best shooters, get the ball in their hands, allow them to shoot the ball, have others do the things that need to be done for this team to be successful. And Diarra is that guy. I know we're not talking about him a lot, but he's one of my favorites on this team because he's doing the dirty work. He's blocking shots, he's rebounding, he's scoring, he's being physical. So he's a heck of a player that people need to give him credit as well.
Extremely active. Here's Reed Shepard, sends it to Dillingham, up fake. Time of the shot clock at 7. Here's Shepard, a great dish on the inside, and Mitchell able to get the putback to go.
Talk about Reed Shepard being the outside shooter. And once again, he's not just relying on that, being that player. Defensively, he's in it. He's getting his hands deflections. He's doing those things. Now breaking the defense down, getting an assist.
The feed from Tischler. Bakoko comes up short. Here's Dillingham once again, quickly into the front court, using the screen by Mitchell. Mitchell gives it back. 2:22 to go. Oh, Dillingham. A little this and a little that, but unable to finish at the iron. And a foul's going to be charged to Rob Dillingham. That's going to be his second.
Nice hesitation dribble, but the play before that, you see the differences. DJ Wagner would get the ball. He would be able to turn the corner, make the defense shrink, and kick back out to Mitchell. That time, Dillingham, he has to, when he's going up that pick and roll, turn the corner so you can make the defense shrink again and get Mitchell that wide open 3. Something that he'll learn, but also gives credit to Germany for making that adjustment by not allowing him to turn the corner.
Medicic sends it now.
Travel.
Yeah, travel by Lukosius. He was born in Lithuania. However, his father coached throughout Europe, including Germany, so he has a German passport as well, and playing in this tournament for Germany. Dillingham sends it to Burks. Drive and kick. Shepard the 3. Short. Loose ball. Gathered by Germany.
Good job by Germany contesting the shots, fighting over. More and more you see them. Good hands by Dillingham getting it inside.
It's a ball pressure. Mitchell cutting off the drive. Medicic deep 3, and it doesn't go. Ball pressure changing things. Here's DJ Wagner. So quick. How many times do you see his dad do that?
See him do that. A lot of points, scoring 100 points in high school, and he was just somebody from the area. Although he's from Canada, you see Dilo with a nice shot. Got to find a shooter. But they compared his dad, Juwan Wagner, to Allen Iverson, and he was very similar.
The cut, Shepard. Mitchell gives it back. Dillingham gives it up to Wagner. 4 on the clock. DJ, and slips. It's out of bounds. It's going to be Kentucky ball with 1 second on the shot clock.
And you see the difference when you have Dillingham and Wagner in the game at the same time. There's a lot of one-on-one standings, not a lot of cutting, not a lot of curls. When you see Reeves, who's more of a scorer, more of a veteran player that knows how to get open and play without the basketball.
Great look. Shepard finds Burks with a slam dunk. How about that?
And he's not just relying on his shot once again. And I can't tell you how important and how delightful that is, him playing the entire game. Look at him again, defensively getting a tie-up.
And a foul is going to be called in the Kentucky crowd. The boos ring out at the Mattamy Center.
And Coach Cal is going to sit here and tell us he doesn't coach in the summertime. He's coaching. He's into it. He's yelling. But look at this inbound play from the sideline. That's a heck of a play. That's a heck of awareness by both players.
Well, he's coaching with Kentucky, obviously representing the United States, right? The reason for him to be the head coach, you see him wearing the USA, and obviously a tremendous honor for Kentucky to be the team selected to come and play for USA. There's a lot of universities that want to come to Toronto and play in Globl Jam. Shot clock down to 5. D'Lo jumper. He can shoot it.
Tough. He can shoot it. Under duress a bit. Still getting that shot off comfortably. You're talking about
21 points.
Coach Cal. He'll be all right. He'll get another #1 recruiting class.
You know that. Here's Reed Shepherd, the 3. And it doesn't go. He's done about everything else but knock down that 3. Medicic at the end of the 3rd. And it's all USA right now, 64-52. Ball pressure and threes and the combination. Reeves and Mitchell doing a ton in the 3rd.
And highly impressed with how Kentucky came out in the second half early, making shots, executing what the game plan is, continue keeping their foot on the pedal.
Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly. Ding dong, Drizzly.
With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers across the country, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care. Here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
I'm a busy man. That's why I love best ball on DraftKings. Snake draft once and I'm done. Each week, DraftKings makes sure my actual lineup is my optimal lineup. I don't got time to set a lineup every week. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even know what city I'm in right now. That's New York. Sorry.
Play season-long fantasy with Best Ball. Just draft once and you're done. No roster management. New customers can download the DraftKings Fantasy app to get in on our biggest Best Ball contest ever with this latest offer.
Mitchell and Reeves for Kentucky. They've combined for 36 points. Mitchell's a plus 19. Reeves is a plus 12. As we take a look at the numbers, the shooting for Kentucky has improved in the second half, and not the case for Germany.
When you talk about Mitchell and Reeves, the one common denominator is experience. They have the experience. They're the guys that can come out and set the tone, make sure everyone follow the lead, and that's what we've been talking about. Reeves and Mitchell is stepping up as a player, as a transfer, but he knows what it takes. He knows the intensity. He has the physicality and the know-how. So once again, this Kentucky team, they have an opportunity to have a great mixture of veteran players, more experienced players, and young, eager guys.
Especially when they get their bigs back, Bradshaw and Onyenso, who's officially listed as day-to-day. And D'Lo loses it out of bounds with 9:46 left here in this contest. And Germany, their 18th turnover. But, you know, look, the pressure of Kentucky, you know, Germany's not the only team that has struggled through the years with Kentucky pressure. I mean, even you go back to when you represented Villanova taking on the Kentucky Wildcats. Sometimes Kentucky ball pressure can cause some turnovers, Alvin.
Yeah, you know, they can cause pressure, and Kentucky has had the history, and traditionally they've been a pressing team. And I'm thinking back, and I can't believe Gavin, our producer.
Look at this.
Wow.
Alvin Williams.
Wow.
Wore number 20 because he's second to none. Ooh, Ron Mercer, 23 and 11 with 6. Yeah. But how about look at
the score.
No, but why is the turnovers flashing like that? That ain't right. I can't believe they did you like that.
CP and Gav.
I can't believe they did you like that.
Unbelievable. And you know, I remember after that game, it was a horrible game. As you see the score, 96 to 53. They took the game off TV and everything.
What happened?
I was sitting at the press conference.
What did he say at half?
Oh, man.
I'm not going to ask.
Nah.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean,
you're rattled.
I was rattled. I was rattled now, rattled then. Told you, give me some Benadryl and breaking out in hives. I don't even like this Kentucky team, nor the fans.
Here's D'Lo, the denial. How about Shepard once again? But, you know, Kentucky, ball pressure. And they've had a history of that. Of course, that was Rick Pitino's team that had tremendous, Jeff Shepard, right?
Unbelievable. And it's just, as you see, going to the rack hard. But you just love the intensity. And they're relentless. They're contesting everything now. They're not getting beat on rotations. And they're just playing smart and energized basketball.
Wagner hits that three. His first points from the field here. Beyond 3 in the second half. He's got 13. 8 in the first half. Here's D'Lo. And that 3 doesn't go. 68-52. Impressive for Kentucky here this afternoon, especially with the size of Germany.
And just look at the ball pressure. You talk about ball pressure causing that turnover. Not reaching, not doing anything. Contesting now, I'm not going to be on the ball. I'm going to play off the ball. So I'm getting in the gaps, helping my teammate, and then closing out, getting a block shot from D'Lo, who's been knocking shots out all night. So Shepard is really, once again, very impressive of playing an all-around game. And that's one of the most challenging things to do as a freshman, defense in college.
Brunka sends it to Medicic on the drive underneath. And batted away. There's Medicic up top. A lot of the top players for Germany in this U23 category not here right now. Of course, getting ready, senior men's national program, a program that has been led by Dennis Schroeder as of late. And Gordy Herbert talked about the great maturity that he has shown and just that family sense that he brought to his team. He was named captain. They have Maxi Kleba plays for Dallas. Schroeder, of course, is signing with Toronto. Daniel Tice, the Wagner brothers, right? Franz and Max. Franz Wagner just standing along with his brother Max. And there's a lot of great young talent. Schroeder, of course, a veteran. A lot of great young talent is being developed in Germany as that shot doesn't go. Kentucky, they've been relentless here in the second half. Brunka, and he was able to finish. That was tough because he was crowded by Kentucky jerseys.
And he just didn't give up. He's strong with the basketball, but Dillingham's fighting in there. They're getting loose balls, reaching, but he just kept his composure, getting to the rim off the baseline, getting an and one. Throughout the games, at times you see just great basketball plays, and you see the different levels. Another opportunity is you see Germany with a putback. And this is when you're a young team, you want to make sure you stay focused and don't give up those type of plays. Offensive rebounds is off the free throw line. And good shot selection.
Burks picked up his third foul. Antonio Reeves back out on the court. Dillingham and Fierro. And a turnover. Once again, just that pressure. We have a time on the floor with 6:53 to go. 68-56. USA.
Pros, it is my job to make sure you are prepared for anything. And I mean anything.
Backtracking! Backtracking!
Thanks to our pros, that aquarium was open the very next day. Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly. Ding dong, Drizzly.
USAA? You were in the military? No, my grandpa was. He passed membership to my mom, then me. Huh. Yeah, if your spouse, parent, or grandparent served, they could pass it to you. I'll check it out.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
Wake up, Achievers. You're making the most of every hour of your life, except the hours that you're sleeping. So why do we leave so much untapped potential on the table? This is a next level bed for a next level you. My circadian rhythm is kicking your circadian rhythm's butt.
It's not a competition.
I know, but I'm still winning.
So it is a competition.
Save $1,200 on our most popular Sleep Number 360 smart bed. Plus, save up to an additional $500 when you add select adjustable bases.
Fresh off of his home run derby crown, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Vladdy and the Blue Jays are back in action on Friday against the Arizona Diamondbacks. It all starts with Blue Jays Central at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific on Sportsnet. And stream all the action live on Sportsnet now. You take a look at some great Kentucky Wildcat players from right here in Canada. And of course, Shea. Saw Shea last year at Globl Jam. Hopefully we'll see him again this week. Michael Mulder you see as well. And of course, Big Cat Jamal McGlure. Had a great career with the Kentucky Wildcats. And of course Jamal Murray, who was just sensational for Denver. And you think about where Canada basketball is as well. You're going to have Shea as well as Jamal playing for the Canadian national team. More than likely be the first time ever in the history of Canada that their national team will actually have to cut NBA players. And outside of the United States, Canada right now has produced more NBA players than any other country currently on NBA rosters, and a traveling violation and a turnover. But Shea, he's a franchise. I mean, I know franchise gets thrown around. He's a franchise player. He's that good.
Anywhere you put him.
Anywhere you put him, he's going to
take a franchise.
Yeah, he's going to take that team to another level. And Jamal Murray, he is in that same category right there. You put him alongside Jokic, and you think about what they did together. And Mike Malone, who used to be an assistant coach for Leo Rautins with the Canadian national team. DJ Wagner, the three at the end of the shot clock. And how tough will he be as Bakoko lays it up and in? If you can, you already see him, the ability to get to the iron and then that step back three ball.
He can score the basketball. He got to make sure he just continues to learn how to play and play the style of play that's going to help him continue to grow.
USA with 25 points off of the turnovers of Germany.
And that's the key, man. You see defense is going to keep you in a game. And then you just want those shots to start falling. And as a player, and I love to hear what Coach Kyle was talking about, playing with the free mind. Do not stress about your own game, your own offense, your own shot. You do something defensively, which brings the team element in. Next thing you know, your shot will go in. You'll get an opportunity, and you play the complete game. You look at the stat sheet, and you have a W next to your team, and you continue to increase your value.
Over and back.
He was talking about Jamal Murray and just his impact and value. Yeah, you have the Joker, and no doubt about it, he's a heck of a basketball player. You had other players, but that team is not successful without having Jamal Murray, as you've seen in the past when he was injured. That wasn't the same team.
And an offensive foul. Obiesa turns it over. How about this? You have 34 players at Kentucky in the Calipari era have declared for the NBA draft after their freshman year, right? It goes back, one and done and all the conversation. And think about the dreams, right, that come true. 34 players have declared after their freshman year. 30 have been chosen in the first round of the NBA. I mean, it is impressive what Coach Cal and, of course, Kentucky does year in and year out.
No, it's unbelievable. And the thing I will take my hat off to Coach Cal, he doesn't lie to the kids. You're coming to Kentucky. We know the game plan. We know what you want. You want to ultimately go to the NBA. You know what we can provide. I'm not trying to sell you anything other than what you want. If my goals don't align with your goals and your goals vice versa don't align with mine, this may not be the fit for you. But as long as we know and be transparent with one another, then we can have success. I can get success running this, and you can get success going further in your career. So you got to take your hat off to Coach Cal with that delivery.
Timeout here, and USA in control with 4:34 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Round one action. Day one, round robin action, 73-58 USA. Opportunities for these players to play internationally here on their home soil. You see Kentucky and just that ball pressure and what they've been able to disrupt defensively.
And right from the beginning, they started the game out. Germany actually settled down, but Kentucky never stopped. They were relentless defensively, staying up in the ball, pressing the basketball. Looked like Germany came out not really being prepared for the press, but Kentucky did a nice job defensively.
Edwards, too many steps and a turnover. Edwards along with Mitchell, Reeves, Wagner, and Burks. D'Lo will inbound it to Obiesa. 15-point lead for USA. Obiesa, Brunka making the move. D'Lo, here's Obiesa, the three that doesn't go. And another whistle. And it's going to go against, I believe, Kentucky and quite possibly on Antonio Reeves. So Reeves picks up the foul. He's been the top scorer along with Tre Mitchell, and it's really what you want to see if you're Coach Cal. Your two veteran players step up, both transfers. Of course, Reeves played with Kentucky a season ago after transferring from Illinois State. Doug Collins, greatest Illinois State player of all time.
Wow, that's good.
Tre Mitchell. Huh? Yeah.
Okay.
3:45 to go, and the three doesn't work for Edwards. Too strong. Obukoko. And Cassius with the three. And Cassius makes it a 12-point game. 73-58. 3:35 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dillingham, Edwards, Shepard, Hart, Wagner, Burks, Bradshaw, the names. And you see the ESPN 2023 ranks.
And you look at the names on top. We talked a lot about DJ Wagner, Justin Edwards. You have any idea where he's from?
Yeah, I know.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
And I feel he's a player that's going to have to maybe adjust the most. Thinking of a scorer, I see him being a high-level defensive player that can knock down shots. He has the length, he has the athleticism. I believe if he can fit into that mold early on, he can be someone that can continue to get better, and his offense will ultimately come. Talking to Coach Bruiser Flint, he said one player he reminded him of at an early age was a close friend of mine, is a close friend of mine, my brother, Katino Mobley, who's a great NBA player who had the same pathway, lefty shooter, but had to adjust his game a bit.
Brunka lays it up and in. Course played at Rhode Island.
Played against the UMass teams with Coach Cal and those guys, so they know him well. But I see Justin Edwards as someone that definitely can make shots, but he's an underrated defensive player, and he could be elite if he chooses to take that route. As you see right there, hustling for an offensive glass. He can earn his bones doing those things early on in this season.
Mother played at Cheney University and then played professionally in Portugal. Mom was the Philadelphia Public League Championship Game MVP. And 23 years later, her son was the Philadelphia Public League Championship Game MVP. How great is that?
How great is the fact that you know that? Know those things.
Come on now. By the way, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. In Philadelphia, a great history of basketball. And Bruiser Flint, former head coach at Drexel. And, of course, now with Coach Cal once again, as you mentioned, at UMass. Shot clock down to 5. And Agbakoko underneath. And it's a 10-point game with under 2 minutes to go. Pressure on the inbounds. Agbakoko pushes off Mitchell. No call. Agbakoko on the inside. And now an 8-point game. And see how the youth of Kentucky handles this. A little bit of a pushback now from Germany.
And this is the youth, and this is when it's still young. Coach Cal said they had 10 players to see DeJuan gets trapped. But if you look at the little details, every time you watch, a lot of times it's not that same person taking the ball out of bounds. When you're in a press break, you want everyone in position. That time, Reeves took the ball out of bounds. The next time, Diarra took the ball out of bounds. Who's going to identify as the inbounder? Who's going to come get the ball? Who's setting the screen? Who's the outlet? Those are things as the season progresses, they'll have those things in order.
75-67 with 1:41 to go and a whistle and a foul. And of course, you were recruited by Bruiser Flint and Coach Cal for a while at UMass, but you decided to go to Villanova, play for Steve Lapis there.
Yes.
Although UMass, I think, may have cut the recruitment a little bit short. But
no, I cut it. I called Coach Brew and said, I'm not coming here. You guys are in Atlantic 10. I want to go to the Big East, and you guys aren't good enough.
No,
you guys can take Marcus Camby, you know.
The left, Mitchell.
But no, Coach Brew, very close. He used to come watch me work out and those things. But Coach Brew gave me a call and said, son, we're going to stop our recruiting. We're recruiting Carlos Travieso, shooter. He just came from Boston and kicked our butts in Philadelphia, our team. So I know who he was. Very good player. They had Edgar Padilla. They had a good team, very good team, as you know. But yeah, Coach Brew, he told me, we're going to stop the recruiting. We're going in a different direction. I still hold that against him a little bit.
Don't. You guys were catching up the last few days. Here's D'Lo.
His father used to coach me. And his father was very, very, let's say, so to say, a little strict on us.
He was
very
intense.
intense. Very intense.
He was intense.
I know my name was more than just Alvin.
Had some adjectives around there. And
yeah, for sure.
77-67. And Brunka at the free throw line.
The Keg, proud partner of Canada Basketball and Globl Jam.
Great thing about those stories is that it worked out for you and it worked out for Cal and Brew, and a whistle and a foul, and Germany back at the line. And Coach Cal and Kentucky fans not pleased.
They're not pleased, but this is when your big guys for Kentucky that's out currently, they will help you in these positions because you bring them in the game. Even if you're playing a small lineup, bring them in to finish these games so you can rebound and secure the basketball on these free throws.
There's a lot of physicality there underneath the bucket, and I'm not sure that, there's a little bit maybe of a push.
And that the little guy is not going to get that call over a big guy. Once we're going up for that ball and going for the rebound, everything is open.
Edwards picks up his third. They called it on. And this is with 1:18 to go in a 7-point game. I mentioned this earlier, Germany making a push, but this is, from an experience standpoint, tremendous for the University of Kentucky to be in this situation on day one of this tournament.
No doubt about it. As you see, Germany makes a substitution, get the bigger body out, bring a smaller guy out for the trap and the speed.
And Wagner splits that double on the inside. The bucket is good. And there's DJ Wagner. The trap came to him, went right through it.
Split it, got it to their leading scorer in Reeves, and he finished.
The three is good for Lukosius. Reeves, top scorer, has 22. And now a whistle and a call. Foul's going to be charged to Germany. And with 56.8 seconds to go in a 2-possession game.
As you mentioned, nice split. Get the ball out, running. But if I am Kentucky, I want to slow the game down. I want to use this clock because you look at it now, it's only a 2-possession game. Could go into a 3-possession game if these free throws are made. But if you're Kentucky, slow the game down. Do not allow the pressure of Germany to speed you up.
Kentucky now 9-12 from the free throw line. Penalty situation. The foul was on Medicic, his third. The second free throw doesn't go. Brunke the three, no. On the glass, the arrow, and then gives it to Reeves. Reeves, and a foul is going to be charged to Germany, and it's going to be on Lukosius. Simonas Lukosius is going to be playing for the Bearcats at the University of Cincinnati. We mentioned a penalty situation, so Reeves will go back to the free throw line. First is short.
And when you, once again, learning experience, free throws, knocking free throws down, slowing the game up. It's a possession game, so Kentucky will learn all of these things. You can't turn the ball over, defend the three ball, and also you have to rebound.
Reed Shepard checks in for Antonio Reeves. Reeves with 23 points, and now a timeout's going to be taken by Gordy Herbert and Germany.
Trying to get something really quick. Kentucky, they still are very active.
This 8-point game. Medicic to inbound it. Here's D'Lo. Shepard right there. Contest by Reed Shepard. The rebound, Fierro. And here's Shepard getting bumped. Handles. Wagner.
Slow it down.
Wagner trying to get to the iron. And he runs into Agbakoko, who then turns it over.
And as you mentioned, if I'm close to DJ, I'm taking him to the side. That can't happen. That play right there cannot happen. You got to bring it out. You're a good free throw shooter. Make them foul you. You are winning the basketball game. Do not have that turnover. Do not try to make that play.
22 turnovers for Germany. Slight difference, game clock, shot clock. Here's Wagner. DJ Wagner with the left, doesn't go. And it's going to be touched by Lukosius. It's out of bounds. He grabbed it when he had a foot along the end line, so Reed Shepherd to inbound it.
And the difference between that play with DJ, he went to the basket, he wound the clock down. Now it's only 6 seconds left, game is over.
Clock down to 1, and it's going to be a shot clock violation, which you don't mind because there's 2.4 to go.
That's all right, opposed to turning the ball over with 20 seconds left and giving this German team an opportunity to score. That time, DJ did a much better job.
USA wins it. Kentucky 81-73 over Germany. And a great showing for Kentucky, their first live action. And remember, as I mentioned, last season Baylor went 0-3 through the round robin. And DJ Wagner, the freshman, getting some opportunities here on this Wednesday. And they'll play Canada tomorrow night. And they were led offensively by Antonio Reeves and then Tre Mitchell, the transfer from West Virginia in the third specifically, with the ability to knock down the 3 ball.
And then you add the others. Reed Shepherd, Fierro. These guys did the dirty work. They helped defensively lead the charge, and DJ Wagner being the point guard, being the leader of the ship, making sure that everyone was in place. So great team collectively. Great team win collectively.
So USA with the victory. And Savannah Hamilton is standing by with Coach Cal as we send it over to Savannah.
Coach, actually a tight game throughout as you saw the final score here, but what was the biggest difference in pulling it away in the second half?
Made some shots in the second half. Tre came out and made those threes. Now you're playing a 9-point lead, and their shots become a little tougher now. So I think making some shots. I thought Antonio was fabulous. He went on an unbelievable run. And Adu rebounded, was nutty, rebounding the ball. But it was a good team win. And for a team that has practiced 10 times and that don't know I'm happy.
What's your biggest takeaway from the new faces?
We got a bunch of competitors, which is good.
And then, of course, a rivalry tomorrow with Team Canada. What's the focal point?
Be a hard game. We're on their court. We got a great group of fans here, too, but it's going to be overwhelmingly Canadian. Now, I think Shea is coming home, and I bet you he roots for Canada, which will make me mad. I don't know if Jamal Murray's dad, I think Roger may come. He'll probably root for Canada. What are you going to do?
We'll see what happens. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Danielle.
So the nation's #1 recruiting class, 1-0 in Globl Jam play. It was a 3-point game at half, but